It's time again for Fishing Tales with Mike Sakamoto.
I'm off to catch my fishing tails. Hang 'em up high with a silver nail. Gonna bring back another fishing tale, so I can tell everybody my big fishing tale.
Hi, I'm Mike Sakamoto, and thanks for joining me on Fishing Tales. The shorelines of South Kona is known as Ulua country. So on today's show, I'll join up with the guys from the Hilo Casting Club, and we'll be fishing at a spot called Hosaka's Point. We'll be hooking into the Ulua, Kahala, Big Akuli, and the Ninui. It's gonna be wall-to-wall action, so don't go away. We'll be right back with the South Kona Fishing Tales. It was just a short climb up the huge cinder cone, and behind it was our destination, Hosaka Flats. Located on Kahuku Ranch on the Big Island of Hawaii, Hosaka is neatly nestled in the lee of the Cinder Hill. The location has a reputation for big fish, a wide assortment of small game, and a flat fishing and casting area and very, very deep water. Everything an Ulua fisherman could ask for. 2.5 hours and we were at the spot, so our next chore was for El Ignacio to guide Ron Mendalunes into his parking stall. One good thing about Hosaka Flats is that it has a great deal of space and most of it is pretty level. I was next up, so I carefully reversed my pathfinder wherever Ron Mendalunes directed me, which was on a nice flat spot and right next to his truck. This is going to be my home for the next 3 days. And that was it. Charlie Andrews, a terrific Ulua fisherman from Hilo, had already been at Hosaka Flats for several days now. Others like Kahana Itozaki were there early too and helping out clearing lines and making ready to recast their baits for the night. They'd arrived earlier in the week and already had a few fish in the ice chest. In the meantime, I found Troy Haspy, the Hilo Casting Club's coordinator of the outing, and we had a talk about what we'd be catching. Well, Troy, you look like you're just about ready.
Yeah, I'm getting ready, Mike.
Okay. You know, I haven't been to this spot for like 13 years, man.
Yeah, the place hasn't changed though.
Oh, it looks good,
It
yeah.
looks great.
So what are they catching during the day like?
We're trying for mamo, nenui, papio, palani,
Okay.
the powo,
All kinds, eh?
all kinds. Mixed bag.
What about nighttime?
Nighttime we do some light tackle spinning, maybe for some menpachi, a veil, and of course the kuli. Kuli's biting real
That's
good.
what I heard, big akuli, eh?
Big ones, man.
And of course the ulua.
Oh, and of course the
Okay.
ulo.
All right.
That's what we're going for.
All right, I'll go try that spot over there.
Okay.
Okay? Well, the sky is slightly overcast, but the water is pretty flat, huh, Troy?
Yeah, Mike, we couldn't have asked for any better conditions. Water conditions were real great, no wind, and perfect for our type of fishing.
And that's El Ignacio casting again, huh?
Oh yeah, he loves that type of fishing.
And Charlie Andrews on the right.
Charlie Andrews on the right.
Now this spot is known for small game and it's really deep in front here, so all kind of fish here.
Oh yeah, lots of fish, all kind of varieties, pretty abundant too.
I was using that, dough ball made with a can of mackerel and made into like a pizza dough. It works real good.
Oh yeah, you guys were catching some nenui and the triggerfish, the hagi, and here's El Ignacio bringing up something here.
The po'o.
Yeah, po'o, nice size one too.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
Now this fish, I wouldn't recommend you keeping. People have gotten sick with secretary on that one, so
Yeah, the fish.
I think he let it go. Huh?
Yes, he did.
Oh, nice one though.
Oh, good size one.
Actually, really good for take home and eat, but
Oh,
best to
man.
let him go. He was doing really good. He likes to bait cast, huh?
Yeah, he enjoys that type of fishing. A lot of patience involved, a lot of line time. But
Here, I got one. Like I said, fish were biting right off this drop. Well, it's about 20 feet, I think. Quite deep.
definitely very deep in front.
And just about everything is there. So I got one of those black triggerfish, I think.
The hagi.
Yeah.
Very.
That one get plenty over there, right?
Oh man, very abundant. A lot of them, but good eating.
Yeah. Now you can actually skin this using a pair of pliers and a real sharp knife, but I think we're gonna let this guy go.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch just right over there. And I wasn't in the mood to break out my pliers. One thing, when they get hooked real good too,
Oh
man.
yeah, and plus you gotta watch for the teeth. know,
Yeah.
they got some teeth and bite you.
Black piranhas, I call them.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Back in. Now, what is the buckets floating out there?
Mike, basically those buckets are used for live bait. We drill like maybe 1-inch holes in it, and then it tends to keep the bait much livelier, longer. So
In a
that's
pond. Or bucket.
then a pond, and I guess the water temperature never changes,
Mhm.
so the bait, tends to stay stronger longer.
That's Charlie Andrews, right?
Yeah, that's Charles bringing up a ta'ape.
Yeah, I had a lot of those around too.
Yeah, a lot of them.
That's
Another
good eating
abundant fish. Oh yeah, real good.
That's about average size, huh?
Yeah, basically that's about the average size that comes up.
Now, Charlie is also a semi-pro football player. You can tell by his
he is.
size.
Yeah, look at him. He's a big guy. So he's also one of the big power casters in our club. Gets it way out there.
I'm sure. He loves to fish, though.
Oh yeah, really.
Now, he's gonna
enjoys
use
it.
that for bait.
I think he might throw it back. Let's see. Oh no, he's gonna throw it back.
Yeah, you can catch quite a bit of those. Now, that's also good lure bait too.
Oh, definitely, Mike. Excellent bait.
There you go. Hooked up again.
Let's see what you got here.
That dough ball really works.
Oh man, excellent bait.
Like I said, it's deep over here. It just falls right off, man. It goes down 20, 25 feet. You'd be amazed how deep from that rock. Thank goodness it's calm too.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, we get washed in.
There's another ta'ape.
I think we kept that one. That's a little bit smaller, so... Oh, no. Gonna go back. But the smaller ones tend to be better bait, I think.
Yes, they do, Mike. I agree with you.
That's not bait, though.
Oh
Steaks.
no, that's steaks. Ribeyes.
Now, the club provided all our steaks, right, for this
Oh
outing?
yes, Mike. They provided all the steaks and also the beverages and what else that we had.
Charcoal and all
And
that.
the charcoal, and there's the salad.
Pretty healthy bunch of guys, eating salad on the beach.
Oh yeah.
And look like hot dogs and chili.
Uh-huh. I think Ron Mandaloni's whacked up the chili
Yeah,
that
that's
evening.
his specialty, eh?
Oh yeah, real good. And there you are.
One big steak. Boy, after you eat that, you want to go sleep.
Oh man, no, yeah, that's not
That's
real
deal
good
right
for a
there.
fisherman.
Yeah. I think you need a bigger plate, man.
Yeah, there's Charles, I think he needed a bigger plate on that one. Look at Ron.
The best part of fishing is eating, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's great.
It's amazing how your appetite get really sharp. The next part is we're gonna do some nighttime fishing, right?
Oh yeah, Mike. The akule should be biting good that evening.
Dinner's over and the sun's gone down. So it's now time to give the mempache and akule fishing a try. I'd heard that our school was just outside of the point and biting pretty good, huh, Troy?
Yeah, Mike, definitely. The akule, there was a good size akule school out there that evening, and the bite was very good.
Now, what is Ron Mandalones doing?
Right now he's chumming probably with some mackerel. I think it's a mixture of mackerel and sand. I'm not sure, but
Oh.
it was working. And,
Dale hooked up.
Dale Ignacio right there hooking up good sized fish, and we're gonna see right now what's coming up.
He's a good small game guy. He's really good at this.
Yeah, real
Yeah.
good. Excellent. A lot of patience and
He knows exactly what he's doing too. When he get his stuff rigged up, look out, man.
yeah, got the technique
Yeah,
down.
he got the touch. Now those are coolie, the size that was out there was fighting pretty good, man. That size fish is tough fighters on
Oh.
light tackle.
Yeah, very good size, good fun fighting them.
It's amazing they come in this close, huh?
Oh yeah, amazing.
Oh, that's not a coolie.
Oh yeah, this looks like a mempache, a good size one though.
Yeah, that's the size for the pan. That's
Oh,
not. I hope you're not
man.
gonna slam him down.
Definitely.
No, that's a one with a good sized shoulders on him.
Good size one, yeah, very good size.
Now the Hawaiians call that
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
basically a squirrel fish. Big mouth, big eyes, nighttime feeder,
Uh-huh.
a lot of bones.
Yeah, basically you gotta be patient when you eat these
Yeah, best
guys.
to eat with your fingers, I think.
Uh-huh, exactly.
I think he wanted me to throw down in the pond, just
Yeah.
in case you're gonna slide him down later.
Yeah, he's probably gonna use it for bait.
There you go. Oh, Kahana hooked up.
Yeah, Kahana Hirozaki, and he's bringing in, I think it's a coolie here.
Now the school, as the night progressed, came closer and closer.
Yes.
I guess they're attracted to the
Exactly.
lantern.
Yeah, the light, the light is what brings them in. I guess there's like small shrimp or some kind of small fish in the water that they like to feed on.
Yeah, I remember later there was a whole bunch of stuff floating in the water. You could see them.
Yes.
There we go. Coming out. Because you gotta make sure you don't tangle that rope. Huh?
Yeah, you gotta be really, you gotta
There you go.
put the English on them, huh? Bring
Yeah,
'em up.
the English is right.
There's a good size one, huh, Mike?
Hard to believe you can catch that size of coolie from shore.
Yeah, amazing.
Now he's using what, a curly tail?
Yeah, I think it's a curly tail. Looks like it right there, and
Ooh, good.
that was the
size.
primary bait for the evening, catching the coolie.
Real convenient. You got a nice little pond in the back. Huh?
Ah, yeah, definitely.
So he was using that to slide later.
Yes, he was.
El Ignacio still bait casting.
Yeah, still bait casting. He enjoys that type of fishing, and oh, he has a good sized toppy here, Mike.
Yeah, that is. That's a huge toppy. Almost to our size.
Oh, definitely big one.
Now the backpack that he's wearing, that's not a. He's not carrying extra equipment. He's actually carrying the batteries for his headlight. He doesn't wear it around his waist like a lot of people.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea. The thing doesn't feel as
Get in the way,
cumbersome,
yeah.
I guess. So yeah,
It's a really good idea. I like that. In fact, I just made a small backpack.
yeah, because
That's a big ta'ape though. There you go.
definitely good size one.
One thing about ta'ape though, they swallow the bait all the way down.
Yeah, and he's not gonna survive there, but that's okay. You can either slide it or
Fry them up.
fry them up.
Oh, he hooked them on the side. There you go. Oh, nice one now. That's about as big as they get, I think. Now that's Nate Jenkins.
That's Nate Jensen.
Jensen.
Yeah, Nate Jensen, and he's hooked up here.
Yeah, he likes small game too.
Oh, definitely, he enjoys doing it too.
Now, from the way that rod is bending, I think that's on a coolie.
Oh yeah, looks like it. Good
No, that's
size
a-
one too.
Actually called a big eye scad or a big eye mackerel.
Yes.
And usually you catch that from a boat, but
Yeah, normally I guess with the depth of the water next to the shoreline where we're fishing here brings the akule school in.
gee, I thought I was the only one that pushed the fish against their shirt and unhooked them. He got him good though.
Yeah.
Nate caught quite a few.
Oh yeah, he was bagging them.
Yeah.
Now
Now Ron
That
Mendalones later was gonna cut them up and dry them too.
Oh yeah, he dried some up and it was excellent over on
Salt
the
them
dinner
up.
table.
There's Ron.
Yeah, there he is.
There you go. He's always having a good time.
Oh, always, he's a fun guy
Oh,
to be
there you
with, and look at that good size one.
Those are almost a pound, boy.
Easily.
That's what you call mature fish.
Uh-huh.
Now, most of these fish, they slit them down later for try to catch ulua.
Yeah, majority of them were used for the ulua for bait, but we did have quite a few
There you go.
that was put
There
in
you go.
Ron's dry box.
Boy, really starting to bite now.
Oh yeah, look at Kahana's one.
Look how thick that fish is.
Good size one.
Woo, baby.
Like we'd say that's a tanker.
Yeah. Fry them up simple. Salt and pepper.
Oh
Roll them
man,
in flour. Cook them up.
can't beat it, Mike.
There you go. I caught one. Finally,
finally
I
one,
caught
oh.
one. Yee, boy.
You were shut out for a while, but you cannot shut off the man too long.
You gotta keep trying.
Uh-huh.
You just watch everybody else fish and then you kind of pick up all the tricks.
Yeah, that was great about that night. Everybody at least got to hook, a few of them, and that's fun.
Take home for the family.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those, I don't know what that cost on the block. $2.95.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. I didn't want to let them go, so I, hold them against my stomach.
Uh-huh. But that's going straight in the ice chest.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the bait bucket.
It's early morning. Everyone's up, and now's the time for a dawn patrol strike. Suddenly, a bell went off. Hey, looks like Kahana's hooked up, huh, Troy?
Yeah, Mike, definitely it was a good wake-up call for all
Telling
of
me
us.
everybody was
Yeah.
half sleeping yet.
Look at it, you can tell it's kind of chilly in the morning with your arms crossed there. Kahana's hooked up here.
Even his dog Kiki was watching.
Yeah, she's out there watching us also.
Now, Nate got the gaff, and another pole was making noise too on the left.
Yeah, that was Kahana's other pole, and it's probably gonna go off right there. There it
There you
is.
Now, the other one got stuck, right?
Yeah, the other one, the fish got pinned down solid there, and then Kahana's second pole went off. As you can see, the rod
There you go.
bending over right there, and running
Okay.
dropped something too.
Now, Nate going to the other pole with the other gaff.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is.
Okay, the bell comes off, safety line comes off, and then you start the fight. There you go.
He's on.
He's on. There you go.
Solid hookup.
Yeah.
I think he had a coolie bait down on here.
Oh, the one we caught from the night before.
Yes, Mike.
Huh, there we go. Moving to the right, so he has to move with the fish, right?
Yes, you gotta follow him, and just to maneuver. And it's always good to have another angler there helping him out.
Clear the lines, yeah.
Clear the lines. And it's a big safety thing also.
It's one thing, you gotta be pretty agile on the rocks.
Oh yeah, definitely, Mike. And also you just gotta watch where you're stepping, huh?
And good, you get a lot of people helping you too. Here's they go, oh nice, Omilo.
Good size Omilo,
Yeah.
Mike.
So that's the akuli hanging on the mouth.
Yes, it is, and then you see Nate hit it off, trying to gaff it, and
Oh,
good size Omilo though.
that's about what? 10? 10 pounds, easy.
Yeah, easily 10 pounds. Good
Amazing.
sashimi.
Amazing that size Omilo would grab that big akuli.
Yeah, amazing, but they're just so aggressive, they'll
Just swallow
take
them.
anything, huh?
Woo-wee.
Good size one.
Yeah, there's a man with a smile.
Oh, big smile,
Now, in the meantime, the other fish is on the other pole.
Yeah, it's still on and it's pinned down there, and
There you go.
it's gonna resurface later, and
That's about what? That's an easy 10 or more.
good size, maybe 10 plus. I would say maybe 12.
Yeah, 12, 15.
Good size one.
Healthy looking too, no?
Oh man.
This area has a lot of
Good
Omilo.
sashimi.
Now, that's the first fish that he has on. Floating.
Yes, it is. There it is. It's floating, and the line. I think the line still. No, it's not pinned down, and the
That's
thing
Nate
got
going
loose.
in,
I think, huh? And
So Nate's gonna go in.
Nate's in,
and
and
me.
there's yourself going
Yeah.
in, and you guys gonna try and retrieve that fish.
Now he's just swimming belly up right now. So.
Definitely tired already from the fight. And here's another rod going
Yeah.
off here.
Now it's a third strike.
It's the third strike.
Okay. Now that's actually Nate's pole.
Yeah, that was Nate Jensen's pole, and he was in the water, so
Right. He's with me in the water.
nobody could decide what to do with it, and he didn't want to come back in, so he was nice enough to let me
Yeah, fight the fish.
man the rod.
There you go.
And here I am. I'm
He's
fighting,
fighting
right
eh?
now.
He's taking line too.
Oh yeah, he was taking some line at this point.
Now in the meantime, Nate took a lure from the spinning rod that Kona has, and he's gonna hook the Omilo that's floating belly up to the lure, and Kahana's gonna fight that in with the spinning rod.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he did, and there you guys are
He got to the fish.
getting up to that
Yeah.
fish there.
Now he has a lure in his hand that's connected to the spinning rod, and he grabs the fish and he hooks it up, and he's gonna tell Kahana to, I guess, crank him up.
Yeah. And
There you go.
basically,
Crank 'em
yeah,
up.
he's
There you
cranking it up.
In the that's
And
the
then there
spinning
he
rod.
is.
There you
Yeah,
go.
he's
That's
bringing it
Kahana
in
with the
right
spinning
now.
rod. There you go. So you got two fish on, right?
Yeah, two fish on at this point, Mike. And,
You fighting one,
yeah,
and
Kahana's fighting
Kahana's
one.
fighting one. And Dale's on the bottom with the gaff.
Yeah, getting ready. The gaff man is always got a gaff man
Oh,
ready.
nice Kahala.
Yeah, good size kahala. Huh?
Yeah, you can see how deep it is. Must be about 50 feet probably.
Yeah, it's amazing how you can see, basically we can see how the fish is, running, and basically what he's doing down there, what obstacles you have.
Now that's the one that you're fighting.
Yes, Mike.
Yeah. There we go. We're escorting the fish in, so to speak.
Yeah, escorting it in.
Here he comes.
Yeah, this is Kahana's Omilo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's the
here.
Omilo, right?
Yeah, it's a good size one too.
There you go.
There you go.
Good job, Dale.
Yeah, good gaff.
Oh yeah, nice one. Yeah, you can see
Nice,
the plug,
solid
the
gaff.
lure hanging out of the mouth.
Yeah. Nate did a good job putting
Yeah.
it back on.
Good hook up, huh? Nate did a good hook up job.
Yeah.
All right.
Good size one.
Yeah,
Number 2
it's
for
another
Kahana.
Omilo. There you go.
And
Oh boy.
I think initially it did take a coolie bait, Kahana's fish.
That's you
Yeah,
fighting, eh?
Yeah, I think he was rubbing it this way. This fish really took out some line in
Yeah.
the beginning.
So good size Kahala. Kahala fight pretty good.
Oh yeah, they're tough.
Good fighter. Streamlined body, a lot of shoulders on him.
Yeah, they're built to to run that
There you
way.
go.
Look at that. There he is.
Looks like he's clear now though. He's not rubbing anymore.
Yeah.
You can see all the coral though.
Uh-huh.
So he get tangled in.
It's amazing. That's why you try and put a lot of pressure on
Mm.
here, like what I'm doing, and just to get them clear of the coral heads.
Everybody giving you advice.
Oh yeah. Always good to have coaches.
Yeah, good coaches.
yeah.
There you go. So you can see how deep it is from right off that rock.
Oh yeah, nice
Deep.
and blue. Nice and clear though the water is, huh?
Mm.
And there's Dale again,
There you go. He got him.
bringing it up. Oh, he was
Not
tired,
even
huh?
gaff him, yeah.
Look at that.
That fish was tired. You fought him pretty good.
Yeah.
There you go. Good one, Troy.
Thanks,
Nice
Mike.
fish.
It was a good fight.
Here we go. What do you think? 25?
Yeah, around there. I think it went
35.
25, 27 pounds.
Good eating.
Good size one. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. A lot of guys
Smoke
smoke
'em
that. Huh?
good. Yeah,
right.
smoke 'em real good.
That's a nice fish.
Yeah, Mike, it was a pleasure having you guys, and we definitely gotta do it again.
Boy, that was a really fun trip. I'd like to take this time to say special thanks to the guys from the Hilo Casting Club for inviting me on that outing. I had a really good time. Well, hope to see you again next week for another Fishing Tale.
It's time again for Fishing Tales with Mike Sakamoto.
I'm off to catch my fishing tails. Hang 'em up high with a silver nail. Gonna bring back another fishing tale, so I can tell everybody my big fishing tale.
Hi, I'm Mike Sakamoto, and thanks for joining me on Fishing Tales. Hey, the winds are down and the waters around Majuro are perfect for diving. So on today's program, I dive with Reina, Botta, and Enji Joran, and they show me how the Marshallese spear reef fish in about 20 to 35 feet of water. They'll be spearing with a 12-foot wooden shaft spear, and boy are they deadly. It's going to be a great show, so don't go away. We'll be right back with a Freediver's Fishing Tale.
On this day, the guys on the Forex have left their fishing rods home because today we're going freediving. And if it's clean, warm water you're looking for and an abundance of fish, then Majuro is a darn good choice. Known for its warm tropical seas, Majuro has some of the most spectacular table coral reefs you've ever seen. The guys on the pier were waving goodbye, fully knowing they will bring back some fish which everyone will enjoy. They knew the reputation of both Reina Botta and Enji Joran as super duper spearfishermen, and they were already counting on the fish that they'll be spearing. As we drove past the bungalow-style cottages which sat overlooking the lagoon, I was delighted that the weather had settled and we were looking forward to a great day of diving. In minutes, we were out in the lagoon where a fleet of foreign purse seiners were anchored. Primarily targeting the big tunas, many of the purse seiners were tied up alongside of their motherships and offloading their catches. After a 20-minute run, we were close to the diving area that Reina and Enji wanted to work. So they immediately started to double-check their spears, masts, slings, and stringers. As Reina and Enji examined their gear, Jawarek watched his landmarks zip by. In the meantime, Captain Ben Reimers kept us heading to the north and toward a reef that Reina and he had discussed earlier. At this speed, we'll be there in a few minutes. While we raced along, I talked with both Enji and Reina about their unusual spear. It had a 12-foot wooden shaft that Reina had made out of a very dense wood which he had obtained from the island of Palau. He found that the wood was so hard that it actually sank or was almost neutrally buoyant. The tip is made of steel and was salvaged from a shaft from an old abandoned car. Soon we were at the spot that the guys wanted to try. The spears were sharp, they had their stringers for fish, and the masts were all cleaned and fog-free. So once the guys were ready, we plunged in. Well, the guys were in and were away from the boat, so I jumped over the side too. Several things struck me instantly. One, the water was as warm as bathwater and clear to the point that you could see the bottom some 40 to 50 feet below. Secondly, the guys weren't wasting any time and were already on the bottom and taking aim at a school of fish. Obviously, Reina was here to spear fish. He lined up and made an attempt, missed, and then tried again on the same breath. I was amazed at the amount of power that was behind the heavy shaft and how accurate Reina was. The spear had no barb, so he made sure the fish he speared was far up the shaft. On the way up, he removed the fish and drilled the brain with the spear point to keep it from thrashing around, which would effectively attract sharks. Then it was over to Enji, who was dragging the floater and stringer. At one time, the guys used to wrap their stringers around their waist, but after Enji got bit by a blackfin shark, they decided not to do that anymore. Now they drag a long length of copper wire which acts as their stringer. While Reina was hunting around, Enji Joran made a dive with his homemade spear gun. Unlike many guns in Hawaii, Enji's wooden gun had no tagline which was connected to the spear shaft. So the shaft flew untethered and it was an easy matter of losing it to a fish, but Enji had no intentions of doing that. On this dive, Reina Botta spotted what is considered one of the favorite fish of the Marshallese. It's the orange-spined unicorn fish, which they call pilak. Hawaiians call it umaumale, but local divers simply call it the whiptail kala because of the long, thin streamers that extend from the tail fin. Once again, Reina pits the kala with the spear tip as he ascends, but this time he doesn't pass it on to Enji. He's gonna hold it and at the same time keep his eyes on a white-tipped shark that's prowling close by. On the next immediate dive, you'll notice that Reina has placed the kala that he speared back onto the spear tip as a decoy. He'll make his dive as close to the school as he can, extend the fish out toward the school of kala, and once they come in to investigate, he'll slip it off and then take his shot. Now Reina has 2 whiptail kala. Neat trick and very, very smart. Then it's over to Enji with the kala, which is put on the copper wire stringer. In the meantime, Reina keeps the other kala, rests for a couple of minutes, and then makes another dive toward the school below. In seconds, you'll see Reina tease another fish close. Then slip the dead kala off and hit another whiptail dead center. Then he'll zoom in and smoothly grab up the first fish and then head for the surface, 2 fish neatly in hand. Very nicely done. From watching Reina, you can tell that he's been doing this for a long time. Truth is, he's been free diving like this for over 21 years. The waters off of the north side of Majuro remained glass calm, although there was a possibility that the winds would come up later in the day. In the meantime, we were having a great time hunting for fish in the crystal clear waters outside the lagoon. The coral formations were unbelievable and truly something to see and experience. As Reina headed down again, I couldn't help but wonder how he keeps the fish on the spear which has no barb on it. But if you watch closely, you'll see that he never pulls back on the shaft after he shoots, but always pushes forward, thus keeping the fish on the shaft at all times. This is a good example of pushing the speared fish up the shaft. Reina's forced the fish so far up the shaft that it's up on the wooden portion above the steel point. The fish that Reina speared is called the melai by the Marshallese. The common name is bullet-headed or green parrotfish. Hawaii people simply call it an uhu. Once again, Reina pierces the brain of the uhu to keep the fish from struggling and thrashing around and possibly tearing itself off of the stringer. By now, sharks are all around and they know where the fish are. but it's still not a good idea to have a lot of struggling fish on your stringer. Previously, Reina told me that he was born on the island of Arnault and has been diving commercially since he was 10 years old. He and Enji dive every day and put in about 6 to 7 hours. They spear anywhere from 70 to 100 pounds of reef fish per day and usually get $1.50 per pound. They target fish like the kala, so are commonly called black fishermen because of the type of fish that they spear. By now, we've been in the water for several hours and more sharks are starting to gather. But to Reina and Enji, sharks are a common occurrence and they know that even sharks like eating freshly speared fish, as you'll see. As mentioned, Reina and Enji are no strangers to sharks. Both divers have previously been bitten. Reina was bitten on the knee by a 5-foot blackfin shark which they call Bako Buebue. The shark cut him to the bone and exposed his kneecap. Enji was bitten on the buttocks because he strung the fish around his waist. He never received medical aid, he simply applied a local plant as a poultice and allowed it to heal over. It took over a month before he could dive again. But both divers hold no grudge against sharks and simply accept them as part of the reef and give them the respect they deserve. The fish that Reina just speared is called the wallalu by the Marshallese. The common name is lylltail grouper, and according to Enji, this fish is great eating and in big demand. The wallalu also takes lures well and fight hard on light spinning tackle. And like all the other fish, this one's going on to the stringer. As for the reefs of Majuro, they're simply amazing. Consisting of over 250 species of coral and more than 1,000 species of fish, there's something to marvel at. On this dive, you'll see Reina take 2 fish on one dive. First, he'll go down and spear 1 fish. Then he'll stay down and tease in another fish with the one on the tip. Once the second fish comes close enough, he'll spear that one and then head to the surface with 2 fish in hand. Very, very nicely done. more fish for the stringer. And it's as simple as that. A white-tipped reef shark, and a nice one at that. Looking like great jets that seem to move with no effort at all, they're being drawn to our area of the reef due to the thrashing vibrations emitted by the spirit fish and the blood in the water. But Reina, Botta, and Enji didn't seem to be concerned and headed to the bottom anyway. While Enji retrieved his fish, I remembered that when it came to eating fish, Enji and Reina prided themselves in what they call the Marshallese diet. They eat fresh reef fish every day and are proud of it and feel that it keeps them healthy. They primarily cook their fish over an open fire or eat it raw. Sometimes they'll salt and dry their catch under the hot Majuro sun and enjoy it that way. That's a fish we don't have in Hawaii. It's like a cross between the common mimpachi and the upupalu, which is a type of cardinal fish. The Marshallese call it mun and find it good eating. I noticed while Enji dove, Reina stayed on the surface and kept careful watch. Sharks are a problem, but shallow water blackout is the biggest danger, and these guys know it. So they always dive with a partner. The fish that Enji just retrieved is called a jetta, which in Marshallese means friend. In Hawaii it's called an alihi mama or saber squirrelfish and are usually taken with a spear. Much like the mimpachi, the alihi mama has very sharp and brittle bones, so anyone eating one should be very careful. On this dive, Enji is going after another one of those jetta which seems to like to hide under the fan coral. Both divers will take these whenever they can and add it to the stringer willingly because they know they can sell it. Many times Reina and Enji will dive on a contract basis. Private parties will hire them to spear from 100 to 200 pounds of fish for their guests, and oftentimes they'll specifically request fish like the kala, palani, pualu, pakukui, and other dark-colored surgeon fishes. Besides spearing fish, Reina and Enji night dive for lobsters. The Marshallese call it war. In one night, they'll pick up approximately 2 bags of lobsters. One bag will weigh about 110 pounds and they'll get $2 per pound. They'll also pick up the ang or spider conch, which are great eating and quite a delicacy. They also look for the golden cowrie, which they can get about $200 a piece for. From the top, the fan coral looks unassuming, but once on the bottom, it looks incredibly delicate and seems to be growing straight outward like the wide brim of a hat. And like a hat, it provides a lot of shade, and a puffer fish found it to be a good place to spend the day until I disturbed it and forced it out onto the reef. To me, the coral looked like it was carved out of ivory and has some very intricate designs etched into it. As for Reina, he's great to watch. A very level-headed diver, Reina isn't superstitious, so he doesn't believe in bad luck, but believes wholeheartedly in his diving capabilities. And he speared some very impressive fish. His latest was a 234-pound sea bass, which took them almost 6 hours to get back to shore. He also speared a 60-pound dogtooth tuna and a 70-pound Pacific barracuda, and then topped it off with a 100-pound black ulua. All of which he took on the simple arbalete and the 12-foot wooden spear. All in all, he's a terrific diver and really feels at home in the water. To me, the reason why Reina is so good and has a fairly long breath is because he's so at home in the water and is totally relaxed. I rarely saw him hyperventilating, which purges out much of the carbon dioxide in his lungs. But Reina simply took long, deep breaths before he made the plunge and just relaxed and concentrated on hitting the fish dead on. Enji has quite a trophy list too. He speared a 60-pound dogtooth tuna which they call Hilo. His biggest black ulua he took went 45 pounds. Soon the guy said we had enough fish and headed for the boat. It had been a great day of diving and I learned a lot about outsmarting reef fish. And the next time I go spearing, I'm gonna give these tricks a try.
Boy, that's what I call some amazing spearfishing. I'd like to take this time to say special thanks to Reina, Botta, and Enji for diving with me. I had a really good time. Well, hope to see you again next week for another fishing tale.